Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's me, the Lou double G.
And me, Real Slim Katie, 25.
And you're listening, watching, experiencing the Geek Gourmet podcast.
Your home for all things geek news.
There you go.
Yeah, first up on the menu, we are serving off some fresh, hot, sexy geek news. Starting with, have you heard about this, Louie? The Palworlds lawsuit. Palworlds was officially served by Nintendo for copyright infringement. This is wacky. This is wild. Mm-hmm. So Louie and I, if you haven't been up to date on streams, we played Palworld the first month it came out, and we liked it for like 10 minutes. It was really fun.
That's so true.
For a little bit. But Louie, correct me if I'm wrong. It's obviously Pokemon.
Yeah, 100%. So like, just a little bit of background just to talk about how big Palworld really got. So like, it sold like 7 million copies and like made over $150 million, which is, it's not a small amount of money even in today's world. Yeah. And if you like look up online, like obviously as things get bigger, more scrutiny and things like that come out for things. If you look up a side by side Pokemon Palworld, characters, you'll very plainly see how some of the character models look very obvious. And I see your jaw dropping, and I'm assuming that you are looking up exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's quite obviously infringement. And here's the thing too that I want to like just kind of say. So back in like the late 2010s, so like 2015 through 2017, I say mid to late, Nintendo was really big on serving content creators, or just straight up pulling out the content from under them. They were just known for it. And you could only post Nintendo-based content if you were a part of the Nintendo Creator Program. And even then, the money that you received from posting content online about any Nintendo properties, you would have a huge pay cut versus if you're posting anything else. So back then, there was not very many content creators that were playing Nintendo games on streams or on YouTube or anything like that. So usually there was this one creator that I liked. His name was UberXtranova, and he's pretty big. If you don't know him, look him up. He has like millions of subscribers on YouTube. He's one of the highest earning Twitch streamers, I think, currently. If not, he definitely was when all that stuff got leaked about Twitch some time ago. And he used to play Mario Maker. He used to play Super Mario. Like he did all of those things. And so for somebody like him, where he's making tons and tons of money, I say tons and tons. Well, when his Twitch shit got leaked, he's making 7 mil a year without anything else. That's tons of money. I'm sure that kind of is okay for him. But for content creators, kind of in the mid tier, right, of content creation, that's a lot of money to be taken away from them. I forget exactly what the percentage is, because when I first started making this channel in 2017, I was looking into it because this was still a thing. And then obviously now, as you know, we can all just play Nintendo games online and it's fine now. Right. But anyway, all that to say, Nintendo's always been known for
cracking it
being
down.
being really close with their own gaming stuff. And then they're just like, hey, no, you can't do that because you're making money and it's not our money. So they got better about it. And now they're coming back, but I actually think this one is warranted. It feels correct, like that they're doing this.
It's super warranted.
Yeah.
Now, also, I want you to give me how much money do you think it made in its opening few months?
Ooh, okay.
Just give me a gander.
So when I talk to people about this game, they feel the exact same way that we did. It was really fun for all of 10 minutes. Yeah. And then you're like, meh, I don't like this anymore. I'm going to say it got most of its money made in the first month. Let's say 70 mil.
70 mil?
Yeah.
Okay. As of March 2024, Palworld had earned $442 million.
Damn. So
not a small amount of money.
no.
Nice chunk of change, if you will. Like,
that is a lot of money.
Holy shit. That's a fuck ton of money.
Then where did I get the 150 mil from?
They made, in their opening weekend, I just looked it up, they made like 189
okay, so that's
million.
What I was,
in their like
referencing.
Opening weekend, they sold 7 million copies. The most interesting thing, isn't it? Isn't it a lot? Now, I don't know. You would know way better than me, like, what normal sales
from
are?
March, $400 million. Just to put into perspective, movies don't usually make that much in their opening week. No. I think Captain America, The Winter Soldier, which at the time was a really big movie, I think it only made like 90 mil in its first week. So
the Palworld popped out with like 180 mil 1 week? That's crazy.
That's a lot. I mean, video games do make more money than movies usually.
Well, it's crazy because I think the top, like, what is it? Wolverine, and I'll fact check myself too, but I think the top movie of the year, top movie in 2024 so far, like, they only made in their opening, what was I gonna say? Inside Out 2 this year has made 1.7 billion, but the fourth, like the fourth like biggest movie worldwide this year was Dune Part 2, and only that in sum has made $714.4 million in sum to this date. So the fact that Palworld at least is probably now even surpassed that statistic I was able to find. But the most interesting part of this to me, Louie, and I don't know if you read this, but I looked up what they posted on X, Twitter, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So they made this like very political statement regarding the lawsuit. Yesterday, a lawsuit was filed against our company for patent infringement. Blah, 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 legal speak. But this was so sassy to me. It is truly unfortunate that we will be forced to allocate significant time to matters unrelated to game development due to this lawsuit. However, we will do the utmost for our fans to ensure that indie game developers are not hindered or discouraged for pursuing their creative ideas. We apologize to our fans and supporters for any worry or discomfort this news has caused. They are playing the victim so hard here. Yeah. And I am fully in support of indie game developers. However, it is undeniable that this game concept, you have to use spheres to catch creatures that you can train to be your henchmen to fight against other, like, I'm sorry. And I actually thought, like, the game design, I thought it was cool. Visually, I actually enjoyed the game and the graphics.
Yeah, visually it's cool. Well, I mean, I think I've said this before, but it very much is Breath of the Wild, Ark Survival Evolved, and Pokemon thrown into the same fucking game. Mm-hmm. And these are all games that I love. All games I've played extensively from childhood to now. And if, like, playing this game, Pokemon, it's like 70% Pokemon, 25% Ark, or not 25% Breath of the Wild, and like the rest is Ark. Like, it's crazy. Like, seriously, go play Ark. You can build houses that look very similar. You can tame animals. It's survival. It's like, anyway, yes, 100%. Definitely stealing fucking content. You can't really prove for the Ark and Breath of the Wild part, except for like the really pretty art and like the stamina wheel that it has in the game. But like, it's obviously just, it's not correct. They're just wrong.
Well, it's similar because I don't know if you heard about this, but Miley Cyrus was served a lawsuit by Bruno Mars' settlement for her song Flowers, over his song When I Was Your Man. I mean, if you don't know it, I mean, lyrically, I thought that was the entire point. I thought she was like, not sampling him, but essentially taking his song. I mean, she takes his lyrics almost word for word. You know, I should have bought you flowers. I should have held your hand. I can buy myself flowers. I can hold my own hand. Like, I thought that was the whole thing. So it's really muddy, though, artistically, when you get to that stuff of like, was I inspired by this, or was I taking this to profit off of it.
Well, and I like how you said inspire versus taking, because like specifically in the music world, a lot of rappers do sample. Jay-Z's one of the best at it. Say what you will about Kanye West, he is probably the best sampler. But all of those things really come into fruition when the song is made. And so in this conversation of video games, there are plenty of video games that take inspiration from Zelda, from fucking Pokemon, from all of these properties. Look at Minecraft, for example.
You never see them get into it with Roblox.
That's a perfect example, but the other examples I'm really looking for is that Minecraft was the staple, the beginning of survival video games. Yes, there were other ones here and there, kind of top-down things, but Minecraft really was the standard. And now we have 7 Days to Die, Ark Survival Evolved, Subnautica, like the list goes on. Obviously, very, very inspired by Minecraft. And that's obvious to me. Palworld and fucking Pokemon, you saw it yourself. If you just literally look up Palworld Pokemon similarities, it's so painfully obvious.
Yeah. Like, insane. How do you even argue? Like, it's just interesting. It's interesting. It's one of those things we talk about, like, in Texas. I was talking to one of my students about this the other day. There's, like, theater competitions in high school, UIL competitions, and schools take their plays to compete against one another, and they have to judge the plays, like, against each other. But how do you really judge art? It's a subjective art form. How do you truly compare the things? How do you say, I'm inspired by this? One is better to, like, you know? So, anyways.
Yeah.
Other video game news. This week, update finally released a couple days ago after being delayed a little bit. Fortnite Mirrors, new chapter. I think it's hilarious. We have a Leatherface skin. We have the fucking Jigsaw skin. There's a couple new map points I have not checked out yet, but mostly it's a bunch of new quests, new items that you can get through completing quests. It's nothing crazy. I'm honestly probably going to be playing other games because I'm feeling spooky. But yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. New game came out this week though, Louie.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero.
Have you played it?
No. I was talking to a coworker last week about anime. I mean, I feel like me and my coworkers are always talking about anime, but this one in particular, we're talking about like, what kind of anime do you like? And like, we started just talking about it, and I was like, I'm a shonen bitch, and I've said this before, but like, I love fucking battle anime. Like, that's just what I like, and I've liked it since I was a child, and I still do. But the one battle anime, and it's the battle anime. It's, Dragon Ball, similarly to Minecraft, wrote the fucking thing as far as what battle anime is, And my Dragon Ball content intake has always just been at like 0.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
It's weird. It's weird that that's the one. That's the one where I draw the line. I'm like, I don't like, and every time I like, I finish an anime, and we'll talk about later what we're watching. And this happened to me a few days ago. Like, scrolling through or whatever, and I was like, I could watch Dragon Ball. Nah, and then like I just don't. So
one day we're gonna make you.
Somebody will. There's a lot above that on the list, but
when we hit 5,000 subscribers, will you watch the first few episodes of Dragon Ball?
Sure.
Guys, you heard it here first.
Well, okay. You know what would be a really fun video is watching like a docu-series about what I think about Dragon Ball. Having never watched it, but watched a lot of anime prior, and then finally getting into it. Like, I watched all of Dragon Ball. Here's what I think, or some bullshit like that.
Guys, if you would watch Louie's reactions to Dragon Ball Z, please leave a comment below. Low-key, I don't have any strong feelings about Dragon Ball, but I do have strong feelings about peer pressuring Louie into doing things. So if you like this idea, feel free to leave a comment down below.
Really, that is the only way to get me to do things is peer pressure from specific people. Usually, I don't give two shits about what anybody is telling me. But if it's the right people, it'll happen. It can happen.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Katie's the right people. One of the.
I wouldn't like to call it peer pressure. I'd like to call it peer influence, peer inspired by, if you will.
Inspired by. So yeah, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways, that's all I have for video games. Really, I saw somebody playing Dragon Ball D. Dragon Ball D.
Dragon
Ball D's nuts. There's probably a joke about that. Dragon D's balls nuts on your Steam Deck. Sorry.
Steam Deck. What the fuck, dude?
But no, I saw somebody playing on a Steam Deck. I've never seen one in real life. It's fucking huge. And it looked incredible.
The game
graphics looked amazing. And my buddy Abel's playing it too. So I have heard good things.
That's cool. One of my ex-bosses used to bring it to work on breaks and just play on it. And I gotta say, I was real jealous because
it looks cool as hell.
I love playing like just, little $6 Steam games and like that's great. It's great.
No, it's cool. It's cool because I looked at it and I was like, what kind of Switch is this? And I was like, I didn't realize that even existed, honestly. I think I confused a Steam Deck with a Stream Deck. So I thought they were. So every time I heard somebody say Steam Deck, I thought it was a stream. Anyways, that's irrelevant. Let's talk about some movie news. By the time this comes out, you will have already had the opportunity to experience my thoughts about Joker. So I'm going to go ahead and say, go watch that video first.
But now I want to say something. I want you to talk about the TikTok you posted. Dude, I got messages from like my friends being like, "Holy shit, Katie's getting flamed on the Geek Gourmet TikTok, dude."
Wait, really? Tell me. Yes. I got absolutely destroyed.
So it was the Sky Beast 2 you've seen us play on the stream with sometimes.
Right.
His girlfriend, so friend of the show, Miss Colby, told the Sky Beast, "Hey, Katie's getting flamed on the Geek Gourmet TikTok. Go watch." And it was, and then Ruben told my friend Miguel, who we've referenced as Killer 2135. And so then he went and looked, and
damn, so I caused drama.
It wasn't drama; it was just funny.
So I decided. You can probably hear in my voice, I'm still not like fully there. I was sick this week. Whatever. I'm sitting in bed. And I'm like, what if I post a rage bait TikTok? Okay, this is a social experiment. I said, what if I posted my hot take about Joker in the most annoying voice possible to absolutely stir people up, and people were pissed about it. It's so silly. I'm like, it's so silly, like, that people get, just allow people to make them angry. So I want to say this as well.
Our TikTok account isn't very big.
Great time to plug our TikTok if you want to go.
We have 42 followers at geek.gourmet. And most of our videos get 200, 600 views. Mm-hmm. This one of Katie got 790 and has had the most audience interaction out of any of our other TikToks. Maybe not the most likes, but the most comments for sure. Of people just being pissed. I want to read some highlights before we get into talking about Joker and Terrifier 3 for a second. One of my favorite ones was by this person, Lex, with no profile picture, and it says, "I don't trust your opinion for some reason." Then two people replied and said, "I think it's the whiny voice." Or one person replied and said that. Another one said, by Jordan, "How come people not liking something you don't automatically understand what it means?" Now I'm thinking they don't understand what they're saying.
It's called rage bait, bestie.
They said,
for context, the TikTok, I said, "Oh, you don't like Joker 2? Guess you didn't understand it." Like just trying to be a bitch about it. Obviously, it's a movie with a lot of, people were so mad. I'm like, you obviously don't know me to know that's a character, but
somebody said, "Please don't show on my FYP ever again."
I liked that comment too.
And then, I saw that you responded. Somebody said, "I didn't like it because it's executed poorly. I don't mind the musical aspects or even the ending, which just seemed are the biggest complaints. But the whole film felt disjointed plot-wise." That was really the only only real comment. Everything else is like basically like a degree short of being like kill yourself.
No, literally. There were like several blocked comments that I went to view and I accepted them. One of them just said gay. I liked it too.
That's funny.
It's funny. But yeah, no. Anyways, great time to plug our TikTok if you want to go see, or YouTube Shorts, a bunch of our silly little videos of us just being silly little dickheads on the internet. Come free along with the journey. But yeah, maybe I should do that character more often. Sorry.
Jesus Christ, dude.
It's annoying. It's funny.
Anyway, Terrifier 3.
Terrifier 3. I am going to see that movie in about 40 minutes. I'm so excited. I'm an avid fan of the Terrifier movies. Not because they're good, but because I love them. And this is crazy. It actually demolished Joker 2 in sales this week. Joker 2 didn't even hit top 3 this weekend. Estimated to make about 18 million. So far, I think is at like 7 million made in one weekend, which is really sad. This movie is starring Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga. I like even movies that are flamed. And this is the saddest thing, okay? So first of all, I will say, Terrifier is coming in with number 1 by a long shot. Did really well, especially like, which is interesting because coming from the first 2 movies, they were not really received well in theaters, in terms of money and box office. People weren't talking about them. People talked about Terrifier 2, but more like an indie horror. Some theaters are showing it. But now, I'm really proud of this franchise. It's really cool to see horror icons being born like that, you know? And in 10 years, we're going to be like, oh, remember when we saw those movies and now he's basically another Ghostface. It's cool. It's exciting. Wild Robot in number 2. I can't wait to see that movie. I've heard amazing things. But the saddest fact of all, Louie, is that Joker has made less than Morbius did on opening weekend. Like, you have to laugh. I mean, you have to laugh because Joker 2, like, I understand why people don't like it. I understand that, like in a lot of views, objectively, it's not a great movie. I understand that, but it is not worse than Morbius. I'm sorry, it's not worse than Morbius. We saw Morbius. I mean, it was like putrid.
Yeah, it was so bad that you couldn't help but watch it.
Yeah. There's like, Joker 2 might not be the best movie, but it's not laughable the way people laugh at Morbius. You know? Anyways, honestly, I kind of felt bad for the movie when I heard that. Like, I know it's not sentient, but I was like, oh, that's really sad. Yeah. Yeah, that's really sad. Anyways. Other really, really interesting stuff. Okay, Jodie Turner-Smith, who's in The Acolyte. Louie and I, we both watched The Acolyte, the Star Wars show that came out earlier this year, to mixed, falling poor reviews. Even though I don't think the show deserved super poor reviews, the actress came out a couple weeks ago online and was talking actually against Disney. And if you know anything about Disney, you know you don't want to talk bad about the mouse. You don't want to bite the hand that feeds you, right? Disney's known for being very powerful and making or breaking careers. And Jodie Turner-Smith is talking about, why did Disney not back up the actresses and stand up for their series and products against online bullying? So that like begs the question, is like, is there a place, like, do companies need to defend actors and stuff against online bullying? Because at a certain point, like, what can you do against online engagement? People are going to have opinions about it. Is there a place for Disney to have done that?
Okay.
I'm not pro bullying, by the way.
I am. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. But okay. You know what they say, all press is good press, right? So I think from a business aspect, which is, let's be real, Disney's a probably the biggest business next to or behind like Tesla or like something like that, right? And it's obviously at the beginning and end of the day, it is a business. So like all of these negative things at the expense of the actors, Disney's probably looking at that being like, hey, that's getting people to see how bad the show is. So at least maybe we can recoup a little bit of money from this situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I'll say about that. And maybe a layer as to why. The other is like maybe Disney just doesn't want to call any more attention to it. Right?
Right.
You know, I think that's the second thing. And the third thing I want to say about it, sweetheart.
Say it, Louie. Say
Sweetheart, Miss Turner. That's her name, right?
it. Yeah. Miss Smith. Jodie Turner.
Miss Smith. Yep.
Yeah.
You do need to grow just a little bit thicker skin. Like it's hard. It's really difficult. Katie and I have both gone through critiques throughout all of college and throughout all of our lives. Katie as an actor and me as a designer. And they suck, and they suck, and sometimes they really do. I remember certain instances in like when I was taking acting courses. It was hard. It was hard not to go home and be like, I fucking hate my life, and I'm fucking scum of the earth, right? Sometimes it's self-imposed, and sometimes it really is the person being really fucking harsh. Not gonna say that made either of us better performers or better designers, right? But I mean, that's kind of unfortunate with, like, the entertainment business is. People are always going to fucking critique you, and it sucks. And I feel for those people who have to endure those things. Hayden Christensen is an example of that. The kid who played Anakin in the first movie, I can't quite remember his name, he had a lot of issues as a result of those things. And I think at the end of the day, he's a child, right? And so that's kind of different, because there probably should have been things in place to protect these children, right?
Don't forget about the actor who played Jar Jar, too.
Absolutely, him too. And
was
so
like in a horrible place mentally and has spoken up about that.
And so I think there are definitely lines, and maybe I'm missing something here, but you do have to like move past it in some sort of way, you know, like and just kind of figure it out and not put it all on the company. Because let's be real, what we saw from the Acolyte was kind of dog water, you know? So, like...
And, like, also, Disney has more money than most companies in the entire world, right?
Yes.
Like,
probably more than most countries, let's be real.
No, dead ass. Dead ass Louie is right on that. Mm-hmm. But even Disney doesn't have enough money to pay enough people to go through and reply to every 14-year-old saying, kill yourself. They don't.
And these fucking 14-year-olds are ruthless, bro.
It's awful, but like that's the thing you have to remember. It's like you're not gonna like everybody in real life. So of course you show yourself to people on the internet. People aren't gonna like you. Right?
Yeah, and maybe in 15 years when Katie and I are like famous from the Geek Gourmet, we're gonna have a lot of scrutiny and look back on this podcast and be like, hey, maybe we were fucking wrong. But
maybe we were wrong.
But also, I can speak from my experiences in stuff and know that like sometimes you really gotta like. I know it's hard. Let it roll off your back.
You gotta buck up. Mm-hmm. That being said, Geek Gourmet does not stand for bullying.
Agreed.
Official statement.
Except whenever you deserve it.
Except for when I deserve it. And if you want to see more online bullying, come watch our streams every Wednesday at around 6:30 p.m.
Where I bully Katie when we're playing any kind of video game.
Exactly.
I try to sometimes I do catch myself and I'm like, all right, stop being rude. Stop being rude. So I want you to know that I'm trying to get better.
We're a safe space to hide and accept online bullies. Anyways, other online. Speaking about other online bullies, just kidding. I'm not even talking about online bullies. This is going to be exciting for you, Louie. If you want to talk about this news about the Lantern series.
Yeah, I know we've been keeping up with like all the Green Lantern news here. I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. The Blackest Night comic book series is awesome, and if you are like, hey, I don't know anything about Green Lantern, I would certainly go and like read that wherever you can. I know that like DC Online or comics on the app, like you can get like a free 7-day thing or whatever. So anyway, all that to say, go read Lantern's Blackest Night. It's really cool. It's a really good story. Um, However, our HBO Max TV show has casted Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, and then Aaron Pierre. Hope I'm saying his name right.
Mm-hmm.
As John Stewart. So we've kind of briefly talked about what it is about, and we got like a little baby synopsis that's like Hal Jordan has his new recruit. His name's John Stewart, and Hal Jordan is the old gruff guy he is, and they go and figure shit out. You know,
Official statement from IMDb on their webpage is Lanterns follows new recruit John Stewart and Lantern legend Hal Jordan, two intergalactic cops drawn into a dark, Earth-based mystery as they investigate a murder in the American heartland.
interesting stuff.
So the most interesting thing I want to say is that tonally, they're talking about this being a detective, a crime drama, an action adventure crime drama with the like tone and darkness of True Detective. So, what's interesting is HBO Max is super known for drama. HBO Max invented the TV drama with Sopranos and like everything, and has recently found huge success with their dark, gritty drama take of The Penguin, which is again a like this is what I really want to talk about, okay? So we have this superhero, right? Superman. Pew. Then we go to the villain, Penguin, right? And this series isn't really even about him being a villain. It's about the creation of the Penguin. It's a drama about this world that it takes place in. This show is also going to be a drama about the world this takes place in. HBO Max, this always finds success. But I'm always curious, is this going to be accepted? We haven't had a Green Lantern, like, visual... We haven't had a visual piece of media with Green Lantern in years. And yeah, it worked for Penguin, but it's not working for Joker. So, are people going to be okay with, hey, this is a new villain thing, but it's a completely different tone? Or is it just going to be an awesome fucking HBO Max series?
So, can I say something about the Joker that I think is going to, or maybe spark a conversation between us? But
sure,
I haven't seen either one of those movies, obviously not the second one. My reasoning for not watching it at first was because I was like, hey, they said this is not connected to anything. Why am I going to watch it? And so that's why I never did, because one of the main driving factors to people really liking the Joker as a villain is because there was so much mystery surrounding him, right?
Mm.
And if anybody has read The Killing Joke, he's a stand-up comedian that's just not making it. And it's that classic. He dons the red hood and he falls into the vat of chemicals and all of those things. Sometime, and that was kind of just accepted, right? Like that was what it was. Some time passed, and there's a story of the Three Jokers, where now the Joker has never been the vat of acid. Now all of a sudden there's three different origin stories, and they've all been Joker, and there's three different Jokers. Now that sparked a debate online that was like, okay, did we like the mystery thing at first, or now are we going towards something else that's like, I don't really like that I know everything.
There's too much.
There's just too much. Like, that kind of ruins the character sometimes. Whereas with a character like Superman, it really helps, right? Because this is a character you're supposed to believe in, you're supposed to admire, and also in some way really see yourself in, right? Or at least a person you might want to be and strive to be that.
Right.
When it comes to villains and when it comes to these characters, unless it's like Voldemort or something, the reason why you learn their backstory is to defeat them, right?
Interesting.
That's kind of my take on literature and all of those things, right? And not really to understand them with exceptions, right? So like if you look at Iago from Othello, I'm getting really into the literature here.
Othello.
But like he really, like William Shakespeare really did it with Iago being like a villain, and like you in a lot of ways Iago is the main character in that play.
Yeah.
All that to say, bring it back to this conversation.
Right.
In regards to like the villain stuff, I can see a world in which this kind of backfires for the Lantern series, being that there needs to be a balance, right? And we need to understand what that balance is before we move forward. Here's why I also have hope, because James Gunn has done a really good job in Guardians.
I agree completely.
In Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, in revealing backstories when it makes sense for the story, right? So, example, in the first movie, we learned about Peter Quill, right? When we needed to, and then we wondered about Rocket the whole time, and we understood that he's a pivotal part of this team.
Oh my god! And we waited 2 movies.
We waited so long to understand why he is the way that he is, and that was just wonderful, right?
It was worth the payoff.
It was absolutely worth the payoff. And like similarly, if we're talking about Voldemort as a villain, we waited 6 books to understand who he is and why he is, right? And why in part is he so evil, right? Mm-hmm. So coming into this like new era of DC where we're like in the Lanterns and we're understanding who they are, and this is a character that you have mentioned so many times is sensitive, right?
Right.
I feel like this drama thing is going to get really weird if it's only a drama, because Hal Jordan, as I've said in the past, has been a more comedic character, and if we kind of take that away from him and he's only a gruff drama boy, we're going back to the Joker thing where it's like, why are we changing things up? Now things are weird, and now we don't like this new character. Or, guess what? Maybe it'll work, and I'm going to be completely wrong. So all that to say, those are the 2 reasons why I'm like,
I'm going to put trust in, because also,
wishy-washy.
If you've seen the first episode of Agatha All Along, brief spoilers, right? The whole thing is like, you can change the tone on people. You can expect things.
You absolutely can.
You didn't know what to expect when WandaVision started. And guess what? They're switching it up every fucking episode. Agatha All Along, the first episode, you think it's going to be a drama for the whole show. And then 40 minutes later, you're like, oh, I guess it's not. So, who will see? I also don't think this will be exclusively a drama like they promote it to be. But even if it is, I think the whole space intergalactic angle makes it to where it doesn't feel fully rooted in realism. Enough. So, we'll see. I did want to talk about this other DC thing. I honestly feel really horrible talking about this because I feel like I want to laugh about it. Zachary Levi, this is a direct quote. He thought him starring in the Shazam movies would be his ticket to being, quote, The Rock or Chris Evans. Which is fucking laughable. Sorry.
Well, a lot of people also don't particularly enjoy Zachary Levi.
No.
Just after some of the stuff with Chris Pratt and like his like...
You learn too much about celebrities, and I realize I don't like them as people.
Once again...
I think he's a great actor.
Once again, sometimes we need to be shrouded in mystery.
I know. You need mystery because I can like people's work and not respect their personal opinions. Or I respect people's personal opinions. I don't agree with people's personal opinions. Specifically, Zachary Levi being like generally anti-science. Kind of rubs me the wrong way, but I honestly feel bad for him that he thought Shazam would have the potential to catapult him into... I just don't even see a world where that character would become that popular.
I do like Shazam as a character, but he has always been, and for a reason, a very, not even tertiary character, whatever the fourth one is, like a C level character, even D plus maybe level character, because he wasn't exactly ever put in the limelight to be that unless you're reading his own comics, which they're okay.
But he wasn't meant to be a star vehicle the way that Captain America was beloved. Wolverine, beloved. Sorry.
Yep. And not to say that it can't happen, right? I mean, again, look at Guardians. That it can totally happen. It's just...
You're right. Guardians did happen, and that proves my whole thing wrong, right?
Well. I mean, just like anything in life, right? It's just there's a balance there, and that balance was.
But what I mean to say is, you're right. It can be these tertiary characters that come up into something amazing, but I'm sorry, Shazam just feels like I get it and that it's inspired, but it just feels like they were trying to make a knockoff Marvel movie. They're trying to do a comedy, and they didn't do it well, and that's not necessarily his fault. I actually think him and Shazam was pretty funny at times. But
I think he was funny. He also has that TV show Chuck. Am I thinking about that right? That I thought was funny.
I don't remember. Honestly, I couldn't pull you any other Zachary Levi stuff at the moment. My brain is like... But I do enjoy him as an actor. I enjoy him as a singer. But it's like... Anyways, I kind of felt bad for him. Real quick, I want to hit anime. Might go a little long this week. Sheesh. That's what she said.
Go.
Oh. Yeah,
is that my turn?
Yeah, you're the anime boy.
Well, you like your whole video just stopped on my end, so I was like, "Are you good? Are you here?" Interesting stuff. So, if anybody knows about One Piece, it's a little known anime, very indie anime that
small indie
for
anime.
A very long time. Not to say they don't go on breaks, but is almost always been coming out every week for the past fucking 20 years or something, right?
Right.
Well, they are taking a long break from now until, I think after this week is when it's beginning, until about March, April of next year. So having a 6-month long break is very, very interesting. And I actually think it's for the right reasons. So, if you know anything about One Piece, the first thing you know, it's fucking long, right? It's a very, very long show. The second thing is that the pacing is fucking off. It's awful. It's awful.
What?
Here's a little plug here. I watched this YouTuber by the name of the Grand Line Review. Probably talked about him before. He, in this channel, exclusively talks about One Piece. He has a fantastic documentary where him and some other One Piece YouTubers talk about the pacing of the Dressrosa arc in One Piece. It's super interesting. If you want to know like what exactly I'm talking about, go watch that video. Also, his channel is just great. So if you want to get into One Piece and watch his content along with it, you'll definitely be pleasantly surprised with some of the stuff you find there. But as a result of the pacing being so off, the chapters are so off. The animation's so off, right? So most animes, when they adapt a chapter, bare minimum, they do a 1-to-1, right? So one chapter equals one episode.
One episode? Okay.
Other animes will do a chapter and a quarter or whatever, right? Because
just trying to fit
that's
stuff
where it
in,
makes sense to yeah, right. That's also just kind of where it makes sense to end it, or they're trying to go quicker, in which case I kind of like those too sometimes. But for example, an anime I like, Soul Eater, they do one chapter to one episode, and it works. I think Demon Slayer has done like a chapter and like a 15th of a chapter for one episode. Regardless, that is that is a average, right? One Piece in Dressrosa specifically did like, I think it was like half chapter to 3/4 of a chapter per episode, trying to fill 22 minutes of an episode with only that much content. And it's not because they were, I think they were trying not to catch up, but I think they, business wise, were like, us catching up and not releasing for a while would actually make us lose money. And they were trying so hard to keep it weekly, right? For 365 days a year. So they started to take breaks, month, 2-month breaks, whatever. And when we got to Wano, which is one of the most recent arcs that just finished in the anime, the animation was impeccable. I mean, it was absolutely fucking wonderful. All that to say, I think this is the right move for Tohei and Ichiro Oda moving forward to take this 6-month break, because when we get past Egghead into Elbaf and into what is presumably the last couple arcs in this final saga of One Piece, the animation will be top tier and everybody will remember the show in a much better light when it comes to pacing and animation, which are really the two things that have, in some ways, stunted One Piece's expansion into other people's, like, watching library. You know what I mean?
Right.
All that to say, despite those facts, it is still the biggest anime to this day, and even has the highest rated episode in all of television on IMDb.
And you know it's good because there is a Luffy balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. That's how you know it's popular.
That's how you know it is very, very popular.
Yeah.
But anyway, next on the anime docket here.
How do you feel about this final season of My Hero coming out next year? It's official.
I think it'll be cool. I mean, the fights are interesting. There are parts of the anime that I'm like, or of the manga reading it, that I was like, this is gonna, I hope when they animate this goes by quickly, because reading it fucking blew. So I think the fights will be cool. I still don't love the ending. If you want to know my thoughts on the ending of the manga, go watch that video. It's on the channel. But oh boy. I want to see what the internet thinks about that ending.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'll be curious.
Yeah.
Well, next up.
Other piece of My Hero news. One more thing. That new movie just came out. The 4th My Hero movie just came out.
Did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it yet. I will be seeing it though as soon as I get the chance. I always go see them in theaters, just kind of usually by myself.
If I would, I would go.
Well, I mean, it's just I'm
you know where I would want to go to?
Shit.
Metro.
Yeah, I go see them at AMC.
You know, I know you said that just to hurt my feelings. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna move on to the next segment now.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Hated that. That hurt.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. This is a Regal family. Mm-hmm. We are a Regal family.
All right. Do you want to prolong this, or you want to move forward?
Yeah, I just really want Regal to sponsor us.
Regal sponsor us, and I'll go see every day a show, a movie.
You heard it here first. Next, real quick, I want to talk about Halloween and what we do at Geek Gourmet to celebrate, and our pop culture recommendations for you to maximize your holiday. Since we've already gone long, we're having a long episode. Let's talk about Halloween.
Go ahead. You go first.
What? Me go first?
Yeah.
So, Halloween. Well, I work at a haunted house, so I'm celebrating by working. But I want to promo my favorite Hallow weekend recommendations. If you have never watched, for like a family-friendly watch, my favorite spooky fall watch is consuming the entire one season of Over the Garden Wall in one afternoon. It is delightful. It is cozy. It is spooky, but not scary. And it's like, you can watch the whole thing in like 3 hours. It's about 10 episodes.
It's about, I think it's about 2 hours, 10 minutes an episode.
Yeah, so not long at all. And it's a fantastic watch, and it gets me very much in the fall mood. If not, I want to go ahead and throw a promo to, if you want to dive your toe into scary movies, but you don't know where to start, I would totally do a Scream marathon. I think Scream is the perfect franchise to get people into scary movies that don't want to get super scared. The movies themselves are not that scary, but they are in fact like they are the parody horror movie. So the whole Scream franchise is known for being meta and like parodying themselves and making fun of scary movies as a whole. And they're a super great way for people who don't like gore and they don't like a lot of violence and they don't like too much suspense to experience the scary movie without being terrified. So totally love that. It's great, very fall, very fun franchise. If not, maybe go balls to the wall. Let's watch all of Saw. Saw is my favorite guilty pleasure horror franchise. And that always makes me feel spooky. So, yeah. What about you?
Well, you stole my thing. I was going to say Over the Garden Wall as well. One thing I will want to say about Over the Garden Wall is that if you have had any experiences with like death in your family or anything like that, this is not really a disclaimer, more as it got me in a weird like
Potential
mental state.
Trigger warnings.
Well, I guess, but like for me, it was thought provoking, very thought provoking.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, though, I find myself being even more appreciative of what it brings to the table, because I think it brings a very interesting conversation to the table. But it's so wonderful and so wonderfully thought out. So anyway,
another piece of news about that, by the way, there's a stop motion short coming out in November, the first week of November, to commemorate the anniversary of Over the Garden Wall.
The 10 years, yeah. So anyway, you got 2 Over the Garden Wall recommendations here.
Geek Gourmet, certified crispy.
I'm gonna do some gaming ones because Katie
frick!
did
I
the
forgot to talk
movies.
about gaming.
If you wanna dip your toe into some spookiness, obviously 7 Days to Die, survival horror crafting game, all zombies, very cool. If you want something more story based that is spooky, BioShock, always a great one. If you want to go like higher tier, maybe not the scariest, but pretty scary, certified horror, Outlast. Katie's been playing a little bit on the stream. Outlast is really, really good. If you want to be fucking terrified out of your mind, go play Visage. 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 I have been unable to complete that game to this day. Go play Visage.
Okay,
and that
I'll
is
go play it.
My horror gaming recommendations.
Other shoutouts, newer game, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The game is very fun. I don't think it's scary as much as it's spooky.
DVD
also,
as well.
DVD, of course. You know I love DVD. And also shout out to Phasmophobia if you want to play a group game. Ghost hunting, very spooky. Andrew shits his pants when we play that game. So, yeah, anyways, before we leave you, we're going to go ahead and get into This Week on Screens, where we let you know what we're currently watching, reading, playing, all of the above, and whether we think you should check it out. I will go first. When I was sick this week, watched Nobody Wants This, a new rom-com series on Netflix with Kristen Bell and Adam Brody. It's about a guy who falls for a rabbi, and I watched it all in one day, and it was awesome. And Heartstopper, because I'm a child, I watched the first 2 seasons in one day. That was my entire day. It is fantastic. Trigger warnings for being a teenager. Reminding you of high school, mental health issues, questioning the above. But it's a delight. And I am reading... I'm reading books that I'm not going to promote on here right now. That sounds sussy. I'm reading some extreme horror books that I'll talk about later in a different video. But I don't want to recommend to kiddies.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's my turn now.
Yeah.
I just caught up completely with Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest. It's fun, it's hip, it's now, it's wow.
Yeah.
Always. If you want to watch it, watch it. There is some fan servicey things, so be warned if you do go watch it. Or if you also want to know more about it, go watch the first series. It's quite beloved, and I enjoy it. It's only like 400 episodes.
Yeah.
Just a quick watch. Otherwise, One Piece always, I guess, until after this week. And then I've been a Soul Eater fan forever. I just threw it on the other day. And I'm just kind of watching it when I need to relax and not think about things. As far as reading, always reading my weekly manga, Kaiju number 8, One Piece, and I guess I needed to throw something else in there now that Jujutsu My Hero also ended. My weekly readings, and then I'm reading a book called The Seven Seas, where it's a history book about the Seven Seas and all of those things, and it's quite dense. But I'm good at that shit. So
yeah, I do want to give 2 more shout outs for things that I am consuming this week. I listen to the podcast HHN 365, which is a Halloween Horror Nights podcast discussing all things Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios. And also, shout out to October 17th, coming out is a full-length documentary called Project Limestone over on a friend of the channel, Blood Moon Paranormals. Blood Moon Paranormal, the YouTube channel. It's going to be a paranormal investigation documentary about an old haunted prison that I'm very excited to consume this week. But yeah.
Content on the channel this week.
Oh my god, yeah.
Stuff coming out. 7 Days to Die. Got some stuff coming out. Some stuff cooking this week. Mm-hmm. And moving forward through the end of October.
Yeah. Go check out my Joker review. Go check out some of our gaming content. See if we played any spooky games this week. If you like our content, the best thing you could ever do would be to share, like, subscribe, give us a follow on our socials on TikTok, Instagram, X, all at Geek Gourmet, with slight variations. So check our link tree. Link is in our bio in our YouTube channel. And if you're an audio listener, feel free to give us some love too. We are supportive of all of our fans on our podcatchers as well. Louie, where can we find you personally?
At the LuDoG, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I don't use it though. And also on my anime list.
Love it. And you can find me at RealSlimKatie25 on TikTok, Letterboxd, and Instagram. But mostly here at Geek Gourmet, your home for all things geek news.
Remember to get your geek
gourmet.